Yo, what's up, guys? Dan from DNR Sports here. Today we're going to be looking at some straight up robbery that occurred. Tennessee Titans got Julio Jones and a sixth-round pick. In return, they gave the Atlanta Falcons a second-round pick in the 2022 draft and a fourth-round pick in the 2023 draft. Why is this robbery? Because you're getting a top 10 receiver of all time, probably higher than that, to be honest, for literally nothing. A second and a fourth. Like, come on, this man has probably 3 to 4 more good, solid years left. I'll take that any day over a second and a fourth. So right away, we're going to look at the updated Titans offense. Ryan Tannehill, obviously. Derrick Henry still the same. A.J. Brown, Julio Jones. They picked up Josh Reynolds as their third receiver this offseason. They got rid of Jonnu Smith and Corey Davis, so now they have Anthony Firkser as the starting tight end. Big addition, Taylor Lewan back. Last year, every single offensive lineman on the Tennessee Titans had I think it was a run blocking grade of like 10 more than their passing grade, at least. Like, that was the bare minimum. As you can tell, like, Derrick Henry had 2,000 yards. You know, you can kind of assume that last year that their run blocking grades were better than their pass blocking grades. But it's nice to see Taylor Lewan back, especially when, they just get Julio Jones and Josh Reynolds, when, this could actually be like a pass-heavy offense for once in their careers. I think the fantasy implications of this are pretty severe for especially Ryan Tannehill. I think Ryan Tannehill just shot up to at least a top 10 quarterback, probably top 8, to be honest. The passing floor with A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, I mean, that's just unmatched. You're getting 4,000 yards no matter what, at least. The touchdown upside is very good. He also has like sneaky rushing ability. Let's just check out his stats from last year. So Tannehill had looks like he had 3,800 yards. That's about middle of the road, 15th overall. 33 touchdowns. See, 7th overall, tied for 7th. 7 interceptions. That's really not bad at all. QBR was actually 4th overall last season. That's really impressive to me. He only had 481 attempts. We see quarterbacks like Brady and Rodgers in previous years approach that 550, 600 mark. Good completion percentage. Everything was just very efficient about Ryan Tannehill. We know the year before, the offense was arguably the most efficient offense we've ever seen. And we didn't know if we could keep it up. But now with the addition of Julio Jones, I don't see how they don't keep it up. I mean, like, they could just play action any ball, and you can't stack an 8-man box like they've been stacking against Derrick Henry when you have A.J. Brown and Julio Jones running deep down the field. Like, you're going to leave Julio one-on-one with what corner? Jalen Ramsey? Okay, then A.J. Brown gets whatever scrubs next to Jalen. Like, you know what I mean? They're not going to be able to deal with this. Derrick Henry is going to feast on efficiency. Pretty much what I'm saying is the overall fantasy output from Derrick Henry isn't going to change drastically at all. It's just he's not going to need 28 touches to get it done. He may need like 22, A.J. Brown, I mean, let's take a look at A.J. Brown. Last year, very consistent, very efficient, obviously. He only had 106 targets. For a true number one alpha receiver, you want to see like anywhere from like 140 to 160, to be honest. So 106, not great, but as you see, almost 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, 15.4 yards per reception. Like, clearly he's arguably the most efficient receiver in the league. Receptions tied for 32nd, not great, but what are you going to do with only 106 targets? Yards, as I said, did pretty well on those targets, 16th overall. Touchdowns tied for 5th, very, very good, very efficient. An average depth of reception, 15.4 yards, is 12th in the league. That's good. We know that he is going to be the touchdown getter out of him and Julio. We know this. Julio has never been the touchdown guy on any team. It's always been Calvin Ridley or Roddy White or whoever he's been with. He's never been the sole do-it-all receiver. Like, yes, he is a do-it-all receiver, but we all got to admit that his touchdown department, especially in some seasons, has been very lacking. Let's go take a look at Julio. Okay, so here we go with Julio's stats on the Falcons for his whole career. As the case I was making before, he's not a touchdown guy. I mean, like, if your max season's 10 touchdowns, like, yes, you're one of the go-to Julio, but I gotta say, bro, you need more touchdowns. He's gonna be, the get him down the field type of guy, but it's gonna be Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, and A.J. Brown really forcing the ball into the end zone. And that's what they're already good at. They need that player that was the Corey Davis last year to get them the yards down the field, to get them to the end zone, right? But then they have all these studs. Ryan Tannehill has the rushing ability. A.J. Brown's a freak of nature. Derrick Henry's a freak of nature. Like, they will put the ball in the end zone. I mean, Julio is too. It's just we know he does struggle in the end zone. So back to my A.J. Brown point. Here's a highlight of the targets of a real alpha receiver, right? We see 157, 170, 150, 204, 164. Like, that's when you put up these crazy 15, 16, 1,800 yard seasons. Like, that's when those big numbers happen. I think Target-wise, if I had to make some predictions right now, I think Julio Jones could slightly lead A.J. Brown in targets. Not by very much. I'm thinking they're both pretty well under 130 each, probably around maybe 120-ish for Julio, 110-ish for A.J. Brown. Josh Reynolds can get his little share here and there. Same with Ferkser. Derrick Henry, probably going to get less touches than he did last season. Let's go look at him. Yeah, so as we see last season, Derrick Henry, when they fully relied on him, almost pushed the 400 attempt mark. I think we'll see about a little bit of a rebound, probably closer to this 2019 season or somewhere in between. I could see 330 to 320 attempts. They're not going to need to pound the rock quite as much. I think this offense is going to be just ultra efficient. The issue on this team, as we all know, is their defense. Their defense is not winning them games. It is shootouts with their offense that is winning them games. They didn't pick up many people in free agency. I know they got Bud Dupree on defense. They got Bud Dupree on defense. They got Janoris Jenkins. Kevin Byard's obviously good. But other than that, nothing much has changed. It's probably going to be another year on defense. Maybe they can get to a middle of the road team, but I think they'll still be a bottom 20 defense overall. But when you look at this offense, man, especially with Luan back, all three of the interior linemen were starters last year. We'll see how Dylan Redunz does. They lost their offensive tackle. They traded him to Miami. They had him for like a game. He tore his ACL or something happened, and they just got rid of him. He was like a first-round pick. But he's gone. So we'll see how this Redunz guy does. But Taylor Lewan obviously being back at left tackle, like that's what you need for Tannehill. This offense going to be ultra efficient. Now let's take a look at the Atlanta Falcons side of this trade. Obviously they got completely gypped on draft picks. Let's talk about this real quick. Julio Jones completely screwed over the Falcons leverage-wise when he got on the Undisputed call with Shannon Sharpe and said, yo, I want to be out of there. Like, I don't know. He didn't know he was live on TV, right? But he goes, yo, I'm out of there. I want to go to a winning team. And Shannon's like, oh, you want to go to the Cowboys? And he's basically like, fuck that. The Cowboys are not winning shit. So Titans, he obviously believes can win stuff. But by doing so, the Falcons are like, well, shit, now everybody knows he wants out, so how do we get anything for him? So they couldn't get a first rounder like they wanted. That sucks. But let's look at the current team. Matt Ryan, I'm surprised he's here. I've seen a lot of things saying they should have gotten rid of Matt Ryan along with Julio Jones, or at least drafted a quarterback if they knew Julio was leaving. I agree. I think this team doesn't have any Super Bowl potential or even playoff potential, to be honest. Matt Ryan's just going to have another stat pad type of year for his career. This isn't like a serious contender team at all. Mike Davis, looking at how he did last year, yes, he was all right filling it for McCaffrey, but like when you get 10 targets a game, you're going to be all right. We saw how Todd Gurley did in this offense last year. Even injured, I think Todd Gurley's better than Mike Davis. So I don't see how this is going to be much of an improvement. Calvin Ridley, that's the big one that everyone's talking about. If you looked back at my top 5 receivers about a month and a half ago that I made for this upcoming season, my top 5 fantasy receivers, I had Devontae Adams number 1, Tyreek Hill number 2, Calvin Ridley number 3. I was pretty sure Julio was going to leave, but it didn't really matter either way. Calvin Ridley's just disgusting. I had Stephon Diggs 4 and Keenan Allen 5. For those wondering, you can go check out my TikToks if you want to. I make a bunch of them. But Calvin Ridley, we see when he doesn't have Julio Jones on the field, he averages, I think it was like 9 receptions, 130-ish yards, and a touchdown per game. It's insane. He goes nuclear. The problem with this offense is going to be, can they sustain drives, right? They don't have the firepower without Julio. And I noticed last year, especially when they played the Saints, it was ugly, man. When I watched Calvin Ridley, he'd get like 15 targets or something, and nothing would materialize for him. Let's look at Calvin Ridley right now. Let's look at his splits. So 90 receptions, 13th overall. That's great. 143 targets. This is what I'm talking about. Alpha numbers. And that's with Julio playing about half the games. Almost 1,400 yards, tied for 5th. 9 touchdowns, tied for 10th. We know he's a touchdown guy. We know he can break I can almost guarantee he will break 10 touchdowns this season if he plays all 16 games. Average yards per catch, 13th overall, 15.3. Very, very good. Let's get into the last couple year numbers. Okay, so we see he's always been pretty efficient throughout his career with the touchdowns, 10, 7, and 9. But the big jump last year was these targets. When Julio missed half the games, Calvin Ridley's targets shot up by, it looks about 50%. He got about 50 more targets. Yardage, of course, is going to skyrocket that. Receptions, touchdowns, everything. I don't see how he's not in the same league as like a DeAndre Hopkins. I don't see how he's not better, to be honest, than a DeAndre Hopkins. I think he has more total upside than DeAndre, I can't say Stephon, because Stephon showed us last year that he has some pretty phenomenal upside. But I think he's better than Justin Jefferson, Keenan Allen, DK Metcalf, Amari Cooper, all those guys. He should only be drafted behind Tyreek, Devontae, and maybe Stephon. That's a preference thing. Okay, obviously the next point of conversation is Kyle Pitts. Everyone's in love with him. His ADP on Underdog Fantasy has skyrocketed into about the 3rd or 4th round. It was about the 5th or 6th before Julio left. But now everyone's like, oh my God, Kyle Pitts is going to be freaking George Kittle. They're drafting him alongside George Kittle and Darren Waller. I'm sorry, I don't care how talented of a tight end you are coming out of college. There's no way I'm drafting you with Darren Waller, and especially George Kittle. We know how damn good George Kittle is, and there's no way you think a rookie's going to be playing that many snaps. He's not going to be having 100% of snaps, not at least at the beginning of the season. We know you need to develop as a blocker to be utilized fully by your coaches. They have Hayden Hurst, who's fully capable of doing that as well, so Kyle Pitts might not be playing more than like 60 to 70% of snaps, if that. I would just slow your roll, obviously. Like he's definitely top like 8 tight end currently, obviously, but we're treating him as if he's the number 2 to 4. That's too much, guys. Too much. Pump the brakes on him. He is a rookie, after all. Russell Gage gets some fantasy value now. Let's take a look at his stats last year. Nothing special. 72 receptions, 786 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That's not too bad. That's not crazy. As compared to previous years, we see 110 targets. That's very good compared to 74 and 10. To put into perspective, he had more targets than A.J. Brown. I know A.J. Brown missed, I believe it was 2 games last year at the beginning of the season, but still, that shows how efficient A.J. Brown is on those targets, how much of a just animal he is in that whole Titans offense as a whole. Russell Gage gained some serious fantasy value from this. I think he's not an upside receiver by any means. He's going to maybe crack 1,000 yards, maybe like 6 touchdowns, probably similar reception totals, probably like 84 in that range, because I think his targets will be around like 120-ish, since he is the number 2 now. Those half of the season where Julio played, we're going to take that out and say that Russell gets 10 to 20 more targets total. But overall, I think he's a decent late-round fantasy option, kind of like he's kind of like a Mike Williams type numbers guy. I know they're very different types of players, but easy targets over the middle can get you about 13 to 14 points on average per week. Not bad at all, to be honest. Okay, so this fantasy offense as a whole, we know that they kind of missed their deep threat now without Julio Jones. Calvin can fulfill that deep threat role, but Olamide Zaccheaus, who they have on the second string, I know last year played a pretty vital role on a lot of the deep passes. I saw him catch a lot of deep touchdowns last year. I do not think, maybe Tajay Sharp will get some run, but I think Zaccheaus will be the guy taking over for Julio's absence. So if you want a really deep flyer, it's Zaccheaus. It's not anybody else. It's Ridley, Gage, and Zaccheaus. Overall, besides that, the line, not great at all. Defense, obviously, we know. Let's not even get started on the Falcons defense. This team is going to be trash. They're going to be playing from behind. Okay, so here we go for fantasy. They're going to be playing from behind. We know they're already the most pass-happy offense in the league. They have one stud receiver, Calvin Ridley, right? A decent tight end. We can't say he's a stud yet, but a decent tight end. So for fantasy value, we want Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley, and Kyle Pitts. Matt Ryan and Kyle Pitts, mainly Kyle Pitts, should not be drafted where they are. Calvin Ridley, I do believe, has the full fantasy value because he has completely shown that he is the alpha. He can do it all, whether it be touchdowns, or yards, or receptions. Kyle Pitts, we're waiting to see. Matt Ryan, I do think takes a big hit without Julio. I think he's going to lose about, honestly, like 70-ish yards projection-wise. Whenever Julio wouldn't play, the offense was just not efficient. Yes, he'd get his work in with Ridley, but other than that, nothing would really happen. Overall, they're going to go probably like 3-14, probably pretty bad. Overall, I do think Tennessee will have a much better season. I could see like a 10-7, 11-6 type season. I don't think this is the best option for Julio if he wants to win a championship, but hey, it's going to be a fun offensive ride for sure. If you guys like this video, we're going to wrap it up there. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Please let me know what you guys think of these videos recently. I want to see what you guys want me to put out. I'm thinking some more tier lists, some overall team tier lists, me predicting the wins for next year. I made that video already. It got corrupt, so I'm going to have to remake it. But yeah, subscribe if you're new around here. I think we're at 98 subs right now. We're about to hit that 100 mark. You guys have been awesome. We've only been doing this for about a month and a half now. This has gone way better than we ever thought it would. I think we're about like 12,000 channel views right now. Like, this is going great. It's only the beginning of the fantasy season, boys. So, turn post noties on, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
ever find the right words. And there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right.